Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. Improvement works have already begun on Avenida del Cosmos. The incorporation of a fourth lane will put an end to the funnel in the circulation that many citizens suffer every morning while leaving towards Málaga.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Victor Navas, accompanied by the town planning councillor María Isabel Ruiz and the councillor for roads and works, Joaquín Villazón, visit the works that are being carried out on Avenida del Cosmos. These works consist on the extension to 4 of the 3 lanes that currently exist. For the councillor for roads and works, these improvements represent a further step in facilitating access to the municipality. The objective is to favor the mobility of traffic in the municipality, both at the entrance and at the exit of this access, putting an end to the retentions that occur during peak hours on working days. In relation to the controversy caused by the elimination of the trees in the area, the councillor explained that from the area of parks and gardens, they continue to work with the aim of planting a greater number of trees compared to those that have had to be sacrificed. The pine is a tree that is very difficult to transplant because it does not usually stay and survive when you move it to another space, but we will maintain the philosophy that we follow in each work, plant more tree specimens than those that we remove. With an investment of €1 million, this work is estimated to have an execution period of about 6 months. The councillor has apologized to the neighbors and users for the inconvenience that these improvements may once cause. The budget for the action is close to €1 million and the execution period for the works will be 6 months, but the works have started at a good pace, so we hope that the period will be shortened a bit. Most of the works will be carried out on the right side of the road, without interrupting traffic in any of the 3 lanes that the avenue currently has. For his part, the mayor has valued the importance of this work, with which several objectives are met, including facilitating access to the city. This is a very important project for the city because with the addition of this 4th lane, we put an end to the bottleneck in the circulation of the avenue, which many citizens suffer every morning when leaving towards Málaga from this street and which occurs when turned 2 lanes into 1. A work that is part of the requirements that the Tremont Real Estate Group put in place for the reopening of the amusement park Tivoli and its future expansion. Starting up this new lane opens up a range of possibilities that will allow us to provide greater efficiency to the access roundabout, and it is a necessary work, as the Trade Department of the Junta de Andalucía indicated to us in its day, in view of the need to improve the entrances to the town if we intend to undertake the expansion of the Tivoli World Amusement Park, and that we take advantage of again to claim its opening. As a third objective, these improvements bring with them the remodeling and revitalization of the rustic park that are located in the area. With this action, we reorganize the space, improve and give value to the surrounding rustic parks, and we manage to provide greater efficiency to traffic in a road junction of great importance for the city.
The call for a citizen consultation on the project for Antonio Machado Avenue does not seem to have satisfied some of the groups that demanded it, and the controversy continues after the cancellation of a meeting with the Andalusian Ombudsman.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Victor Navas, spoke with the media last week to clarify the suspension of a meeting that was scheduled between the mayor himself and the Andalusian Ombudsman, cancelled by the regional government after understanding that it was not necessary with the calling of a citizen consultation on the Antonio Machado Avenue project. Navas began his speech by reaffirming his commitment to not start the works until the consultation is not carried out. The government team is still interested in the mediation with the Andalusian Ombudsman and a group of neighbors who do not agree with the remodeling project of the Antonio Machado Avenue. The business and commercial sector agrees with the project, but we are willing to listen to all parties. The process of citizen participation in the development of the remodeling project for Benalmádena Costa began in 2018. We obtained 13 million euros in European Union funds to carry it out, and we are already in a position to start, but despite this, we have decided to paralyze the work until we gather the opinion of the citizenship through a popular consultation. However, we do not paralyze the awards and the administrative process of the EDUSI contracts because there is a deadline for its development, and we do not know what the outcome of the consultation will be. It may be favorable or a hybrid option that allows us to use European funds, and therefore we could not afford to lose time to justify these funds. But we will not start any work until we have all the certainties offered by the results of the consultation. The mayor of Benalmádena has clarified the false controversy surrounding the suspended meeting. These days, we had called a second meeting with the Andalusian Ombudsman, and it was the institution itself that decided to suspend it because it understood there was no longer a conflict after announcing the holding of the citizen consultation that offered neighbors the possibility of positioning themselves on the project. As mayor, I am the first interested in there being a mediation with the Andalusian Ombudsman, and therefore I have insisted that we have to sit down and meet to culminate once and for all such mediation if possible, always in our willingness to dialogue and understanding. Navas highlighted that he has not cancelled any of the meetings that have been called and is very interested in maintaining them. He also stressed that the City Council will always listen and take into account the will of the neighbors. As a government team, we continue in the line of working for the citizens, but we cannot accept lies like those that have been poured these days, with which I was accused of suspending the meeting with the Andalusian Ombudsman. As mayor, I have never refused to meet with any group, but on the contrary, I have met twice with a group of neighbors who oppose the project for the Avenida Antonio Machado, as well as municipal technicians working on it, thus demonstrating our willingness to always listen to the neighbors.
Local stores and businesses faced a year with great need after the pandemic period, and last week they received a small gift from City Council, which has delivered flowers to beautify the town and boost local trade.
The mayor of Benalmádena, Victor Navas, and the deputy mayor, Pablo Centella, visited last week Blas Infante Avenue to deliver flower pots with geraniums and gitanillas among the business in the area, with the aim of beautifying the municipality and boost local commerce. Navas, who was also accompanied by other members of the government team, as María Isabel Ruiz, Salvador Rodríguez, Alicia Ladaga or Juan Carrillo, stressed that this is a perfect decoration to spruce up the town. From the City Council, we will distribute more than 2,000 pots of geraniums and gitanillas, with special emphasis on those streets of the town that have always had the tradition of decorating their facades with plants and flowers. We want to reach the stores and the most emblematic streets to promote the spring decoration, encouraging citizens and traders to collaborate with the City Council so that Benalmádena presents an image as attractive as possible. The mayor highlighted the importance of supporting and boosting local trade. The Mediterranean aesthetics of many corners of our city are perfect for this type of decoration during the spring months, and we want to encourage the neighbors themselves contribute to preserve and maintain our streets decorated and beautified for the tourist season. With these details, we invigorate trade, offering an image of retail city and ready to receive tourism. During last Christmas, we were distributing pascueros to decorate our streets, and now we reinforce this invitation to neighbors and merchants to collaborate in the beautification of the streets with this new distribution in spring. For his part, Centella explained that with this type of actions, we improve the image of the municipality. We are in May, and here the spring is synonymous with explosion and exuberance of floral life, and therefore from the City Council we make this effort so that the flowers have prominence in our streets and commerce, bringing life and color. In addition to the enjoyment of neighbors, we generate an element of tourist attraction to make our city more beautiful to visitors. After the distribution by business, about 500 pots will be reserved for neighbors to collect them for free to decorate their balconies, and in the coming days we'll detail the distribution points for the withdrawal of pots.
Culture Councilman Pablo Centella spoke with the press to encourage participation in the next Maratón de Cuentos, which will celebrate a new edition at Casa de la Cultura tomorrow, Saturday 28th.
The Councillor for Culture, Pablo Centella, and the coordinator of the culture area, Ana Luna, offered a press conference to encourage participation in the Next Story Marathon, which will celebrate its 27th edition at the Casa de la Cultura tomorrow, Saturday, May 28. The parade that will start the Marathon of Stories will begin at 11 a.m., which will run through the center of Arroyo de la Miel with the animation group La Carpa, and which in this edition will be about a sea of stories. It is a very important event for the Benalmádena Culture Delegation because with this marathon we cover a series of objectives: encourage the participation of citizens in a cultural event, promote oral storytelling, preserve family traditions, favor the development of attention and verbal comprehension, and promote the reading habit. It is a playful and very attractive activity for all audiences, and this year the theme will be the care of the seas and the importance of marine fauna and flora for the conservation of the land. At 12 noon, the presentation of the marathon will be held with a play in the Assembly Hall of the Casa de la Cultura, and from 1 p.m. the narration of the stories will begin by the participants, who will be presented with a diploma, proof of their participation, and an event t-shirt. The new policy that this government team have been betting on for 7 years has to do with increasing the cultural pulse of the city to attract important events, but also with the socialization of participation in culture, and this marathon is an essential element for this, giving prominence to children and adults who come to tell their stories.
The Classic Night concert cycle ends at the Bilbil Castle next week to resume its activity after the summer. This next Tuesday, the pianist David Mogaburo will be in charge of ending these 3 months.
On March 29, Noches de Clásica began, a series of classical music concerts that in this first stage have been held at the El Bilbil Castle on the last Tuesday of each month, and which now say goodbye until September, where they will return in a different format and to the House of Culture, as the Councillor for Culture, Pablo Centella, explained to us. Noches de Clásica are held on the last Tuesday of each month, and after the end of this first stage, the cycle will return in September to the Assembly Hall of the Casa de la Cultura, with the concerts of a larger format. The person in charge of putting the finishing touch to this first quarter is the pianist David Mogaburo, winner of various competitions, has to his credit the first prize and the public award in the Osuna Regional Interpretation Competition, finalist in the National Piano Competition Santa Cecilia and the Ciudad de Jerez International Competition, among others. The councilman wanted to invite the people of Benalmádena to attend this concert, whose €3 ticket will go to benefit the Benalmádena Association of Relatives and Alzheimer's Patients. To conclude, Centella has announced that classical music will once again be the protagonist of summer nights in the emblematic area of Parque de la Paloma within the program Cultura en la Calle. During the summer, classical music will continue to be present in the Cultura en la Calle cycle with nightly concerts in the incomparable setting of La Paloma Park.
And these are today's headlines. Remodeling works on Avenida del Cosmos. The Andalusian Ombudsman wants to archive the file on Antonio Machado. City Hall launched an initiative to revitalize local commerce. New edition of the local event Maratón de Cuentos. Classical music at El Bilbil Castle with David Mogaburo. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with low cloudy skies with intervals of medium and high clouds, also clouds in the mountains, where occasional showers are not ruled out. Temperatures on the rise with a minimum of 18 degrees and reaching up to 29 on Sunday. Variable light winds on the coast of the Axarquía and east or southeast in the rest, tending to light variable. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.